Yeah, it's really slow to come. I got to tell you, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, it's not COVID,
But
is it?
hopefully, we'll be getting there by Monday, maybe.
Not COVID, right?
Takes a lot of rest, and I think that's the thing that isn't happening. The vocal cords can't really rest very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got for us this morning? We'll make it quick.
Okay. So, we had a press conference yesterday
Oh, did we?
regarding the 2021 census that was completed. So the
Okay.
full report has now been released, and the premier, as well as the deputy premier, had a press conference to discuss some of the findings. So there's quite a bit of information that came out of the press conference. So there'll be more than one story, but probably the biggest story is that the premier has essentially said that we need to be managing our growth a little bit better than we are. And he talked about the necessity to, have proper systems and infrastructure in place. And yeah, so between in 1983, the population was an estimated 37,000 persons. And so we've had a population growth of 70% in 20 years.
Hmm. It's pretty big.
Yeah. So
How's that compare with the world, though? I wonder.
I think it's high in terms of percentage growth,
Yeah.
but he said that one of the reasons was definitely, the open immigration policies, which brings a lot of benefits, but also has setbacks. So that's quite interesting. Currently, we're at 71,432 residents in the Cayman Islands, according to the 2021 census. And I'm sure it's always give or take a few people.
Right.
327 persons in institutions, including prisons, dorms, retirement homes, and so forth as well. So we'll keep you guys updated on what else is coming out of that. The document should be released now as well.
Okay.
So congratulations to a young lady who's representing the Cayman Islands in chess. So she headed off to India to participate in the 44th Chess Olympiad that is taking place from July 28th to August the 10th. So she looks like she's chess ready and that she's not going to be having any robots break her fingers.
Yeah, I was thinking that same. They're not playing against robots, right?
Yeah, no, she's playing against human beings. So she should be good. So congrats to the entire team. The chess club is over there now. The Cayman Islands Chess Federation, formerly known as the Cayman Chess Club, is all on top of it. So good luck to them.
Awesome.
JetBlue is planning on purchasing Spirit for 3.8 billion dollars. And this is kind of interesting because it came after another budget airline called Frontier Airlines tried to purchase, or they were trying to merge with Spirit, and so that fell apart. So now this merger with JetBlue has come about. But they're actually saying that this will mean an increase in fees, which I thought the opposite would be happening, but no. But it would give the two a fleet of 458 planes. So yeah, sounds
I think
interesting.
what it does is it allows, and you know this, like when certain cities airports have only enough space
Yes.
for planes to come in, and so I think what JetBlue wants to do is take over some of those cities that Spirit has that JetBlue doesn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll give them more destinations when you book for JetBlue.
Yeah, definitely some expansion and available routes. So, and then finally, in a little bit of regional news, there was a man who's pled guilty to killing his cousin and her 4 children in Jamaica. This was a big case a couple weeks back, June 21st, and looks like he's going to save the court a lot of time by just submitting an early guilty plea.
Okay.
So, people are calling for the death penalty to come back because of this case, actually. So it's quite interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are some of your news headlines. Oh, one other thing we should note. The RCIPS has confirmed in relation to the child in Cayman Brac that they have an ongoing investigation. In fact, there have been a lot of rumors. I think the police really wanted to put some rumors to bed. And so they said that there is what they call a tragic, they have a proper name for it, but it's like a full investigation into anything that any sort of sudden death investigations, what it's called. Yeah. And so they have actually moved 5 police investigators supported by forensic specialists and a pathologist were sent to Cayman Brac on Wednesday to support the local team with their ongoing investigation. So this multi-agency approach is being taken, they say, to ensure that all avenues are explored because there's a lot of stories flying around. So the police also wanted to confirm that at this particular time, no arrests have been made because that was one of the rumors that was in full circulation that several persons had been arrested. So there you have it.
Hey, well, today, good luck. I don't know if you were able to have a friend in the United States purchase you a Mega Millions jackpot ticket, but
did they finally get a winner?
Today's the draw for $1.1 billion.
I don't usually buy lotto tickets, but I must admit that I did message my friend in Miami, and I said, when it's this high, I'm like, what the heck? Just buy me $20 worth of tickets. Okay. So, I could do well with that money.
Yeah, I got my tickets right there.
Nice.
Got a
Can
family.
you buy tickets online, or do you have to have someone?
No. Yeah, I had a family member purchase a couple of tickets. We'll see what happens.
I'm thinking maybe I need a few more.
If I'm not here Monday morning,
I'll know why.
you might be a little suspicious that I won the Mega Millions jackpot.
Yeah, you see, that sort of thing for me isn't going to change. My job is still going to be the same.
You say that, and then you get $1 billion, and you're like,
no, man, I really love
let the world sort itself out. I'm going to take some time off. I got my voice to get back. I've got
like a vacation, but on vacation, I would still be doing my live show.
You probably would. You probably would. I believe that. Have a great weekend, and I hope you feel better for Monday.
Thank you.
All right. Our statement with CMR brought to you exclusively on.
All right, folks, let's get it ready here. 30 seconds until we go live on radio. Let me just grab some of my links.
Peppermint, sorrel, ginger, fever grass, or English. Get it ready. Your morning tea just got hotter.
Ooh, honey child.
On the cold, hard truth. Bobo 89.1 and Cayman's #1 talk show are bringing you morning talk like no one else. Monday Rewind, Impact Wednesdays, Caribbean Connections, and much more. Don't miss a beat with what's happening in the local community. Just keep sipping your tea.
What a mess.
Here's your host, live and direct from the Cayman Islands, Sandy Hill.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. It is Friday, July the 29th. This is actually the last Friday of the month. I can't believe it. Monday is August the 1st already. Wow. The entire year is going by quickly, but I feel like this month in particular went by super fast. So good morning to everyone. Welcome to our Friday edition of the Cold Hard Truth, live on Bobo 89.1 FM. And of course, also live on Facebook and YouTube. How are you guys doing today? Give us a shout out. Join us on social media if you can. You can write your comments or feel free to call 936-2626 and tell us what's on your mind today. We'll have a little bit of open mic opportunity. We're going to be talking about small claims court. You know, we cover a lot about crooks and scammers. And then you have to wonder, what is it that you can do about crooks and scammers? So we're going to tell you one of the things potentially that you can do, right? And then we'll maybe have a little bit of a Q&A segment with our Mailbag Fridays. And then we have a guest from the LGBTQ community who's coming on at about 9 o'clock to tell us about their upcoming Pride Parade that will be occurring over the weekend. So that's what we got scheduled here for you today. But you guys know we're always super flexible. So you let us know what's on your mind and we can certainly discuss pretty much anything that you want. So yes, you guys know we've been getting a little bit of rain, obviously. And it started yesterday afternoon. We got quite a bit yesterday afternoon. I thought it was nice to have some showers from above. So I actually love rain. If I don't have to be out in it, child, it could rain all day and all night. And I would literally be here for it. I'm like, yes, send me more rain. I don't mind it one bit. Last night, I don't know if it was island-wide, but we certainly had a good amount in the Savannah, Lower Valley area. And in fact, it started quite early into the night. And then as I was trying to go to bed early, I also heard quite a bit of lightning and thunder and that sort of thing. So yes, it's some nice sleeping weather. And trust me, I think I slept pretty good last night. I never sleep fully. I think this is just how I sleep. But, relatively speaking, well, because of the coughing and stuff like that was waking me up. But other than that, I felt like I actually got a lot of good rest last night. I actually slept in a little bit later than I should have this morning. And I was in the middle of a good dream. Do you ever have a good dream and you wake up and then you're able to continue your dream? Well, I'm one of those people, honey child. When I have a good dream, I'm like, listen, don't be interrupting my dream. I'm going to go back to sleep and continue my dream. And I do that all the time. And I do dream a lot as well. I'm a person who has despite not feeling like I go very deep in a sleep, I must, because I do dream quite often as well. So I was having a dream about California, child. I'm looking forward to that direct route so I can go visit some friends and stuff in Cali. So so this dream, ironically enough, was about visiting a particular friend and hanging out with them in the mall and all sorts of other really weird things. We got our first call of the morning already. So let's check in here. Give me 1 second, caller. Let me see why our Bluetooth is not picking up yet. Modern technology, honey, chill. Got to make sure that this is on. And then we are ready to go. So good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Hi, caller.
Good morning, Miss Sandy. How are you doing?
Good morning. You're live and direct. I'm okay. How are you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm fine. I hope you're doing fine. Your throat sound a little bit ticklish, but I know you can get through the day.
Yeah.
So
it's getting a little bit better, but
wondering. Yes, ma'am. I was just wondering, the gentleman that you had on your show a few days ago that was speaking about I think it was an FBI agent.
Yeah, former FBI
from
agent.
Washington.
Yes.
And his name was.
Oh gosh.
Did he give his name?
Yes, Mr. Williford. I'll get you some more. I'll get you some more information. He's no longer with the FBI, but he does other stuff. Yes.
Okay, but he still works. He's still does. Okay. So he was a former FBI agent. Yeah, because I didn't get a satisfactory answer on the other show that I asked about, and I was wondering, the other people that was on it, they gave me the answer. I don't know why they didn't know this information that you have, but I just wanted to call this morning to let you know that people over in the UK is listening
Oh,
to you,
thank you.
and you're coming in very clear.
I appreciate that.
Just wanted, yes, ma'am.
Yes, and you know the
Thank you very
interesting.
much, Miss.
Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate it.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
ma'am.
You know the interesting thing about that show is a lot of you loved that show. I must tell you, in recent times, you know, it's a show that we've gotten a lot of positive feedback on, and quite frankly, even yesterday, I had someone messaging saying, "Oh my gosh, that show was fantastic. Can we have more shows like that?" And we certainly will. One of the interesting things is the very that show was on what is today, Friday, so that would have been on Wednesday, yes. And by Wednesday evening, we were hearing that an arrest had been made in that specific case that kind of kicked off the conversation. So in the Donna Lee case, an arrest had been made, believe it or not. So they have arrested. There's a little bit of an update on that in case you continue to follow that show. They have actually arrested the police officer, the male police officer. However, they are saying that they essentially are clearing the female police officer. So this is interesting. Right? So she, I think, has been making some comments about feeling vindicated and whatever. But they also say that there are other persons of interest. So Constable Noel Maitland has been arrested. He was actually arrested Wednesday afternoon in relation to this. And the case, the arrest came after a review by the DPP's office there in Jamaica. So interesting. They say based on evidence, stakeholders believe the police should be held accountable for the disappearance of the social media influencer who's reported missing since July the 13th. They continue to, work this case, obviously, but they say that in addition to him, there are other people they're expecting to make other arrests as well. So I'm like, what other arrests are we talking about here? Are we talking about the garbage man who may have assisted in the disposal of the body after the fact? Yeah, we're going to just have to wait and see. So I thought that was quite an interesting development, that they're saying that, they essentially have arrested him, not the female girlfriend that has a child for him, but just him. And we'll see. What a thing. The saga, the case just continues to be incredibly interesting, taking a lot of interesting turns. So don't forget now, in just this jurisdiction, as well as in Jamaica, where we follow the UK English legal system, an arrest does not yet mean a charge. So they've not yet charged him. They have arrested him. And those are two very different things, folks. So essentially, we will wait to see what charges come out of that. Yeah. Wow. The other thing, and I mean, you hope that, of course, when they make a decision to arrest someone, that they are doing so, based on the probability that they can actually win a case. But it's quite interesting that the arrest really has come on the heel of so much public outcry, especially in the international media, about what has been going on in relation to this particular case. And as we discussed on our show, there is unfortunately a bit of, why this young lady, why does her case get a bit more attention than some of the other missing persons cases? Because there are a lot of missing people. My apologies. There are a lot of missing people in Jamaica, including children and other blind people, children and a young lady, a university student who is blind as well. People can't even take a taxi cab without wondering if they will disappear, right? So, we'll have to just sort of wait and see how this plays out. And of course, we will definitely be following the case for all of you to let you know precisely what happens. But I think she was just a perfect recipe for it. Number one, she's young, she's beautiful. It helps if you're young and beautiful when you disappear. Let's just be honest. And she's a social media influencer, so she had I don't know what she did exactly on social media, but I guess she had a number of followers or whatever. So that's the sort of thing that gets the case automatically more attention because it's almost like you're a celebrity of sorts. Her mother, I was reading yesterday, was actually hospitalized, not directly related to this, but apparently she had some respiratory issues that needed to be sorted out beforehand. And because of her daughter going missing, she had to put back her own health, requirements. And so now I think, her ongoing health concerns are a bit more concerning. And let's be clear, we have missing persons here in the Cayman Islands as well to this day that remain missing. Someone just reminded me of the Carrie Ann Baker case where, she went missing. Gosh, how many years has that been? And there's never been anything definitive. And she was a Jamaican young lady who was here working as a nurse. And CCTV footage, the last time anybody saw her was at Foster's at the airport, I believe it was, grocery shopping. And the cameras there picked her up and she left and then seemingly disappeared into thin air. But, we've always heard a lot about, and sort of on the ground, about this case. So, but officially it remains an unsolved missing person case. I think that there was some blood evidence or something that was found close to the Pedro Castle area, as I recall, that was being investigated by the police and tested. And I can't recall if they ever determined if that was her blood, if that was human blood. I'm trying to remember. Does anybody remember the details of that? Do let me know if you recall, because I can't exactly recall. But yes, thank you so much to that caller for also expressing that he enjoyed the show on Wednesday. So Vernita, good morning. Chris K joining us from Brazil. Hey, Chris K, how are you? Thank you so much. Good morning. Irvelin is here. Dion, representing the Bayanihan Filipino community. Anita, thank you so much, Miss Anita. How are you? We got We've got Louis from Detroit. Louis says TGIF, everyone. Marshall from North Carolina. So yes, the Mega Million Lottery is big news in the States. So it's gone up to, hold on one second. Now let me tell you. How many billions? The Mega Million jackpot is now officially, let me see. What is it? Okay, $1.1 billion. And it's going to be the second largest jackpot in game history, like ever, since the lottery has been around. So I intend to win it. Yes. I called my friend in Miami and I said, hey, girlfriend, go buy me a ticket. Because $1.1 billion, what would you do? Let's have a little bit of Friday fun. Omiria, what would you do with $1.1 billion? Oh, Lordy. First of all, the thing that I would do is I'd take a single payout. You're not paying me. How much would the payout be over 20 years? Whatever it is, I'm like, nope, give me a lump sum. I'll take the penalty and I'll take my money and run. Siobhan, what would you do with the money? Good morning to Miss Felicia. Miss Joy is joining us from Texas. Natasha, good morning. Yes, I would. Okay, here's priority list, right? This is what I would do in the order of, this is like a mathematical equation, the order of operation, okay? First thing I would do is pay off my mortgage. Be debt-free. That's the only real debt that I have, mortgage. So I would pay that off One quick check to CNB. Boom. Here you go, CNB. Thank you very much for the mortgage. I appreciate it, but that's early. And in fact, some of you might have heard me talking about this. Federal interest rates went up again yesterday, 0.75%, and they're going to continue to go up. I think at least, like I said, half a dozen times. Although I kind of feel like it's already at half a dozen times this year, but it's going to continue to go up, folks. So you need to be smart about it. The banks actually issued a notice in the Bankers Association to say that, listen, contact us. If you're starting to have issues, not contact the Bankers Association, but contact your bank. So if you're starting to have any sort of issues, then, work with your bank early on. You do not want to wait. We talked about that when we talked about the mortgage foreclosure case, right? It's easy to wait, but that's only to your detriment if you wait. So the earlier and the sooner you get a hold of any problem in life, the better. Yeah, so I'm in an accelerated plan to try to pay off my mortgage. So every little extra dollar I get, honey child, I'm paying off my mortgage. So much so that this week I was actually thinking of selling my so-called luxury vehicle, which is now over 5 years old. It still would command a premium price, and taking that entire amount and just dropping it on the principal of my mortgage. Because trust me, these are the kind of decisions that you want to make right now. I have access to another car, so I don't necessarily, that's a luxury in a time when inflation is double digits, potentially a recession is coming our way. I want to be debt free. Yes, honey child, I don't want to spend any money on a mortgage if I don't have to. So if I won the lottery, that would definitely be the first thing I would do. I would accelerate that plan with one simple check. Boom, done. What else would I do? Lavana, I would then invest, future investments in land. So the difficulties of thinking that any of our children are going to be able to afford land. Oh God, I got to get some tissue. Oh, my sinus is here. Oh, let me see if I can get Miss Stacy. I'm begging you to bring me some tissue, please. So yes, the next thing I would do and invest in some land. So I would buy some like East End. I would try and get like an acre or two, I think, in East End, a couple acres. I would buy something in Cayman Brac. I don't know about Little Cayman. Like I probably should, just because when you have $1.1 billion, you can pretty much buy most things that you want. Little Cayman's a little bit slow for me right now, but in 20, 25 years, my daughter can reap the benefits of that. So yeah, I guess I'll buy a little something Cayman Brac as well. And then, I'd buy a lot of land, actually. I would probably buy at least 4 transactions, depending on the amount and location. I think I'll be okay. I want 1 or 2 pieces like in town as well. I'm a Georgetown area. So yes, now y'all don't be inflating the prices just because you hear Sandy won $1 billion. Because I know y'all, Sandy, ring ring. And I'll be like, hello. Hold on. Let's do one of her voices here this morning. This is how y'all would be. I'm gonna tell you how the phone call is gonna go.
Hello. I've got some land for you. It's for sale. Premium price.
And I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna pay that for it. Because just because you hear people got money, y'all be doubling and tripling the price with no justification. I've never understood how land prices even work in Cayman. Y'all seem to just make it up. You're like, oh, well, I feel like it's worth $1 billion. And it's like, okay. So you take whatever you can get for it, right? Yeah, so I'd buy some land. West Bay seems to be developing a lot, but I don't think I'd actually buy anything in West Bay. Like I feel when I go into West Bay right now, every other quarter, there's like a new development, especially on Northwest Point. There's a lot going up there. But I do not think that's probably the one district that I'd kind of be like, yeah, not trying to knock you West Bayers, but I can't think of anywhere in West Bay that I'd be like, oh yes, I got to grab a piece of land like right here. Maybe like an apartment or something. So not necessarily raw land, but maybe in West Bay an apartment, because I think, apartment rentals is a good investment in West Bay. You could do like a little Airbnb on West Bay Road, or some locations in West Bay. So yes, I would do some land acquisition, and then I would take some acquaintances, not necessarily people on my friend list, because some of them might not need anything. Now I know they're sitting there listening to this going, wait a minute, Sandy, you're going to win $1 billion and you're talking about I'm number 5 on the list and I don't need any money. What is wrong with you? Here, you can hear the next plan here in a minute about who's going to get some money. Hello, good morning, caller.
You come let me before they hatch. Good morning.
Yes, child, I'm daydreaming this morning. Why not?
No, but there's a beautiful spot in West Bay, good for like what you're in media productions and all like that for years. There's a big old marl pit down in West Bay. When it used to be
Marl pit.
When I was in that, yeah. I that's what I'm calling it. I don't know what it really is, but it's so beautiful. It's so scenic. It's gorgeous.
Really?
But I don't know where I good to tell you where, but it's down to some place.
But what am I going to do with a marl pit? What do you do with that?
Productions. You get all that money now. In media now, Cayman has no real production company.
Oh,
hello.
Okay.
There you go.
But I'm not in production. So media, news, and production are two different things. But
yeah.
That's interesting.
That's where you are. That's where you are. I already got my plan for the new Caymanians only.
Yeah. Church,
graveyard, school, college, hospital, at least clinics. Yeah, I know. I don't know where you're gonna go, but that's been in my head from time I was about 10 years old.
Yes. Well, I'm coming. I'm coming to the rest of the plan here shortly.
Anyhow, I hope that you don't drop the ball on the man that was featuring yesterday. The little young man paws in his hand, and did it escape you that he told the man that well, I don't know if you own it either. Did you not get that?
No. I think it escaped a lot of people who are defending him. I didn't escape me, but I think some of the people who were defending the foolishness. Yeah.
What an insult. I mean, don't drop the ball on him. We really need to know what happened to that clown.
Yeah.
I want to know if he has a job, if he's gainfully employed and legal about it, and then if he's not gainfully employed, then he got a good teeth, he needs to go. Yeah. That bothers me that, young people are hustling. They might be struggling, but they're doing something productive, and then some big hardback person, and a struggle to keep it clean, comes in and just upsets people and insults people, and to me that's an insult to the whole country. And he's gonna ask the gentleman if it really belongs to him. Oh,
yeah.
But I need to work on them immigration forms. Then, are you coming here seeking a job? No. After you answer that, no, you can't seek a job after that because you would have lied to the government. Are you coming here after you get when you make the application for the thing? Then, are you coming here to seek PR? Yes. Well, you can't stop. What's to go? That's what we're looking for. If the answer is no, then you can't seek PR. And don't come here making babies because, a mother can't be separated from the husband can't be separated from the mother, nor the child. That's okay. Wherever you going, carry yours. Because we are hosting you now. So wherever you going, then you make sure that you carry yours. That's it. Because see what's happening up in England. They can't talk. They cannot have a case in court, and they can't come to any decision because you can't separate a family.
Oh gosh, my apologies. I didn't mean to hit that one, but it might be appropriate nonetheless.
No, but it's true. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can. We can take evasive action now.
Yes.
But that man, the immigration need to find out if that man is here legally with their permission.
All right, my love. Thank
We
you.
really need to get rid of him. Yes, ma'am. Go back to your
my daydreaming. Yes, I got a plan here. I want to share the plan because I feel like if I put this in the universe, that might help it come to me.
Have a nice show.
Thank you, my dear. So Louis says I'm going to take home $648.2 million if I do a one-time lump sum. All right. I can handle that. Okay, so over 500 million. All right. So okay, so I paid off the mortgage. Oh, Salvin makes an interesting point here. Salvin says that it's not smart to pay off the mortgage. Just let interest on your money pay the mortgage. Now, here's the thing, Salvin. That is if you're in a position where you haven't just won $1 billion. So they say, make your investment, and I see this all the time in these TikTok videos and whatever, make your investment work for you, right? So everybody focuses on, yes, I want to be debt-free. But that's the position you take when paying off the mortgage is going to mean that you can't invest in a piece of property. Yeah? Because then the idea is, oh, go and invest in an Airbnb or something else that's going to earn you money. And then the money that you're earning, you take and you pay your debt. And they claim that that's how rich people do it. Well, there's rich and then there's $1 billion rich. There's rich like, oh, I got, $3-4 million. I'm a millionaire. And then there's like, oh, I'm like a billionaire rich. Like there's different levels of wealth. And when you can take away $600 million, honey child, you don't have to worry about, oh, I don't have any money to invest in investment property. That's almost $650 million. I can buy myself some property, a couple condos and stuff like that. So that's not a problem. So I can do both at the same time. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to pay the mortgage and I'm going to be buying and acquiring property and land. Okay. So that I can do. Buy me a little apartment complex or something. Although, oh God, the headache of managing and dealing with some people. But you know what? You know what you pay on the life of a mortgage? So even if you're saying, oh, well, I'm earning money that's going to pay the interest, right? Let me do some interest calculations here. And, of course, someone messaged me the other day and they said that they're with one of the local banks. I think they said FCIB or whatever. And they're like, oh, I never see my mortgage going down. I think that they're cheating me and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, they're not cheating you, but I said, what you can do is you can request from them a calculation of all of the money that you're going to be paying over the next 20 years or 30 years, depending on the life of your mortgage. And they will show you each month you make this and this and this and this, and this is how your balance is going to be decreased. This is the interest that you're paying. And I actually sent him a link for a interest calculator. And he was like, oh, wow, this is so helpful. Yes. I said, well, you're welcome. So say you have a 20-year mortgage. Is that the average these years? And you're going to be paying, let me see if we can figure this out. So your monthly contribution, say you borrow $350,000. This is going to be very, very rough. Monthly contributions, I don't even know what you're going to be paying per month now. Let's say it's $2,600. Interest rates, what's it gone up to now? Whatever, prime plus, what's the actual percentage? Compounded. I think they compound it monthly, don't they? Inflation, well, you know that's double digits, child. We don't know what it's going to be in 20 years. A positive annual contribution. So I don't know. What do you pay annually on this one's a little bit more in depth. But anyway, all right. This is very, very rough. When I say rough, I mean rough. Because this one's forcing me to put in details that I don't necessarily have. But say I'm starting with borrowing $350,000. Annual contribution. If you're going to pay, we need a financial guru on the show. That's the next person I'm bringing on. If you're going to pay, say, $2,600 per month, let's say that you then pay $31,200, right? $31,200. All right. So at the end of that, what you'll end up paying, and this is after inflation adjustment. And you know what? Let's drop inflation because I have it double digits here, but it doesn't stay double digits. So let's say on average over 20 years, inflation is 5%. Okay. According to this, you're going to end up paying, in the end, $3.6 million for a $350,000 that you just borrowed. That's a lot of money. Now, like I said, this isn't going to quite be accurate because this one is asking for additional information. I think there's some simpler ones that can kind of give you. But when you go to the bank, before you sign on the dotted line, you can say to them, oh, yes, can I see, what it's going to cost me to actually borrow this money from the bank? Like they can give you the full breakdown. That's what I suggested to this young man. I said, son, First Caribbean, CNB, all of them can give you a full breakdown of what it's going to be for you to borrow this money and what you're going to pay. This is how the bank makes their money, with interest. Okay? And so you're going to pay a substantial amount more. You borrow $350, you're going to be paying over $1 million on that. So why would I, if I had $500 million, why on earth would I leave a mortgage? Why would I leave a mortgage there where I'm still paying this interest? Right now I have a fixed rate interest, but y'all know that that's going up. So even if I had investment properties, if you can pay that off, that still saves you $1 million. Like in the long term, that doesn't make any sense for you if you have the money to pay it off. Omiria says, Sandy, that's if you can find any land to buy. Oh, you can find land when you roll in with $648 million. That wouldn't be the issue. The issue would be if I want to pay what these crazy people are asking for their land. All right. So after I've taken care of my house, because you got to take care of your business, then I'm going to set up a few community projects. So of course, I have to do something for children in the community. So I would set up direct competition for the K's Foundation. I would set up a boy and girls home. Oh my God, it would be so amazing. Professional staff, people who are actually trained in this, who know what they're doing, separating the troublesome youth from the ones who are in a bad environment. Ugh. Like a little bit of a remediation program. So even if you had a child and you wanted to send them there, they could get like free help with homework in the afternoons. There'd be like an aftercare program. Of course, we gotta have a farm to teach them how to grow stuff and have some responsibility, you know, so they'd have to take care of like animals and stuff. Oh my God, it would be so amazing. Like I can really envision, like but I need a big piece of land for that. So that I need like 4 or 5 acres, right? They could have transportation to and from school, therapy. They can get as much therapy as they want, but you know, there are going to be some house rules, child. So they can't be going on with this foolishness about they want to escape. Hello, therapy's here. You want to talk about it? Yes, we got therapy for you. Free therapist, good therapist too. And, you know, proper outings for them because I feel like they don't get, their lives are disrupted by being in the home. And of course, people know that they're in the home. And so people judge them based on that. So this is going to be like a totally different situation. Like people are going to be begging to come to this home, honey child. They're going to be like, oh, can I come to your, I don't know what we'd call it. Like we have to come up with a really good name for it, but you know, yeah, they could just be themselves and be free. And I want to do more for children who've been abused. So like maybe a therapy program, like an intense therapy program, because I do not feel like children who are abused here get the therapy that they need. Sometimes their parents can't afford it. And that impacts the lives of these poor kids. We'd set up some advocacy programs to make sure that they're really represented in court and stuff as well. So Lavana says, I would pay off all my bills, then give to some of my immediate family and a lot of other stuff. So after I do a couple programs, by the way, children, top of the list, then I would do something for pets. I'm not quite sure yet. Like if I would just give a donation to an existing organization, probably, because I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. There's tons of great organizations out there who are really, really good with the services that they provide, but they're strapped for resources. So like maybe the Humane Society, I'll help them with their relocation efforts or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Now here comes the fun part. I got myself some friends and some acquaintances. So I'm going to give away some money. But there is always a stipulation, right? When I give you money, these are the rules. So I am going to pick some nieces and nephews. Do I have any nephews? I'm trying to remember if I have. Oh, yes, I do. I had to think for a second. I'm like, do I have any nephews? And I thought of 2 right away. I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. So I'm going to pick some nieces and nephews. Their parents, I believe, are going to be out of luck because they've already lived their lives, honey child. And they've already demonstrated that they're more than capable of making a hot mess out of that. So yeah, I don't think they're going to be getting any money, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. But I'll definitely, the next generation is where I'm really concerned, right? So the younger ones in their 20s and 30s, they need a little pull up in life. So I'm going to give everybody, if I win $500,000, I'm just trying to think how much money I got left now, because you can be careful. You don't give it all away because you got to invest some and, you know, you got to be smart. So I'm probably going to set aside, oh God, and you got to think about in this current environment, how much money is going to help people without overdoing it. Okay. So I'm going to pick 10 family members. Now, I don't know who they are. I think that would cover the nieces and nephews, I believe. I don't even know, which is horrible. Everybody's going to get $50,000. Okay. You can do whatever you want with the $50,000. My advice would be to go secure yourself a piece of land, a house, mortgage, whatever. But if you want to use it to start up a business, idea, whatever, hey, you do you. All right. However, the caveat is, the rule is, you don't get to ever come back and ask me for a single dollar. So you waste all of your money. You don't get to come back and say, Auntie Sandy, I don't have no money left because of this. That next thing I'd be like, Erks, Pump the brakes, honey child. That's not my business. And I would take a very fast rule on this because you know it's going to happen. Because now they think you got money, they're going to be coming back. Oh, can you help me with another 10,000, another 50? And the answer will be no, I cannot. So you get an initial 50. Listen, if you want to take your 50 and be foolish with it and spend it on foolishness and whatever, knock yourself out knowing that that's all you're going to get. So there will be nothing more for you to have. Yes? Okay. That's just how it works. I'm going to take a vacation. So I don't know where exactly I'm going. Where do I want to go that I really can't afford to go? I don't know. Maybe I'd do like Europe or something, but I'd do like a proper vacation. Of course, I'm going to be traveling all the time long term now with this kind of money. So I don't have to rush anything, but I'll do like a little initial vacation. I want to do like Europe, Greece. There's a lot of places on my bucket list, actually. So I'd pick one place on the bucket list and travel for like the next month. I still got to do the show. So I'm still getting up every morning with whatever the time difference is. So I got to pick a time difference. I got to pick a time difference. What? I got to pick a time difference friendly jurisdiction, right? And then, yes, I'll take a little bit of a vacation, set aside college fund money for my daughter. And yeah, I think that's it. And then whatever's left over, I would maybe look at some investment opportunities in like businesses and stuff like that. You got to be careful though, investing in business, because people hear you got a lot of money. They think you can just waste money, and that definitely isn't the case. And then, I'd put it like on a CD or something. I invest in some stocks and whatever else. Yeah. So the most important thing before I do a single thing with my money, actually, I would hire a seasoned financial advisor, somebody who deals with people who have a lot of money, right? Call somebody in New York, got to find out what their fee is and make sure I can afford it. And to sit down and work out with them. Like I say, okay, these are my goals. This is what I want to do. What is it that you can guide me on in terms of the decisions that I should be making? So trust funds, to use the interest. So Jonathan says, I hear that if you were to win the lottery, you can't put it in a bank here in Cayman. I wonder if this is true. I'm trying to remember about this actually, because someone from West Bay a couple of years ago won, I think it was like $2 or $3 million. And there was some story about whether or not they could actually bring the money here. Because it's in this jurisdiction, gambling isn't allowed. Well, honey child, if I had me $500 million, I can assure you that somebody in the United States of America is going to let me open up a bank account. You're not going to worry about that. Or maybe it won't be the US. It'll be some other jurisdiction that doesn't care because they don't have anything against gambling. So yes, it might not be in Cayman, child, but once I have access to it online and it's a reputable country and a reputable bank and my money isn't going to be disappearing. Of course, you never take that kind of money and put it in any single bank account in any event. You better make sure you know what you're doing, where you're putting it. But Jonathan, I can't remember. I've heard that as well. But to be honest, I'm not sure if it's true. Because it's not like in the US, it's illegal to buy a lotto ticket. So it's not a criminal activity in that country, for sure. So it's not considered the proceeds of crime. So I kind of not sure if that's actually true. Thank you, Miss Juanita. She says, you will get help. The kids really need this. Well, we can all daydream. Nathina says that she would build an elderly home shelter. You know, do we, I mean, I know we have the Pines, and I'm sure the Pines needs money, but how much space do we need for like elderly people? I feel like Caymanians still believe in keeping elderly people home and taking care of them like through helpers and stuff like that. And there are some times that they can't, and they put them in the care of like the Pines. But does the Pines need expanding? Like, are they out of room? Like, I'm not really sure what the need is there, to be honest. But Nathina, I like that idea about scholarships as well. So we'll set up an annual CMR scholarship where people can apply, and it would be performance-based. Young people demonstrate certain things with their grades and so on to be eligible. Cameron says, good morning, Aunt Sandra. I know, all of a sudden, you start to get family members, child, that you didn't know you had. They come out the woodworks. They claim that, oh, I saw you in 23andMe. You're my cousin. So that's why I'm going to just do the family that I know about. If I don't know about you now, I'm afraid to say that. And like I said, it's just going to be nieces and nephews. I feel sorry for the siblings, but they've kind of had their chance already. Jonathan says, I would bribe the government. Here, Jonathan, now. I would bribe the government so I can build my casino. Oh my gosh, Jonathan. Cameron says, you know, I'm your favorite nephew. Exactly. Kara says, first place, no one would even know I have the money. Now you see, Kara is smart. This is a good idea, Kara, because a lot of people stress people out when they win the lottery. They stress them out with all these special beggar requests. So for most people, it's probably a very good idea that nobody knows that you've won. Good morning, caller.
The name of Jonathan's casino, please.
He doesn't have it yet, but Jonathan has an idea. He calls it Jonathan, is it the 3G or the 4G idea? So he's all about go-go girls, ganja, and gambling. I think it's 3G. So he has a 3G plan where he wants to open up a casino that has go-go girls in it, and you can sit there and smoke marijuana all day while you gamble and watch the go-go girls. That's his idea for financial freedom.
I was wondering if that changed.
No, child. So Dean.
Good morning to camera.
Yes.
Morning to camera. Morning, Camera.
Yes,
right.
Thank you so much. All right, honey.
I'm just dealing with Jonathan's casino.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. So Dean says, Sandy, you could expand CMR into major news and advertising corporation, also opening a lending institution to lend Caymanians only money for homes and Caymanian-owned businesses. I wouldn't get into the lending business because based on what I see every day, Caymanians, a lot of Caymanians have difficulties managing their debt. So that would be a business that would frustrate me. I'm going to send your behind straight to the bank. What I would do, and then, Caymanians can be like, oh, why is she charging me this interest rate? She can do this for free. No. When you're in business, business is business, honey child. As it relates to CMR, we would definitely expand some elements of it. But of course, being smart about it because, we got things locked already. We don't need a whole lot of expansion. I would hire maybe a couple more staff. Sometimes I get tired. I can't go to every single event. So yes, I would hire a few more people to assist with events and stuff like that, but not over expanding because I'm not looking to run some conglomerate business. I'm getting up there in age myself. Oh yes. You always have to have that one purchase that is a complete splurge, something that you do not need, but you're going to buy anyway. So let me tell you what it's going to be. Y'all ready for this? Where's my drum roll? I don't even know where my drum roll is. I don't know what my drum roll is. Is this drum roll? No, that's not drum roll. Yeah. All right. Here it is, folks. I would purchase the vehicle of my dreams. Now you probably wonder what that is. It's probably not that bad, but I got my eyes on something. My motivation right now, like I said, I'm working extra hard to put every extra dollar on mortgage principal, right? So I do have a little vehicle in mind. It is a Benz. Y'all know I'm a little bit partial to Mercedes. And my goal is for my 50th birthday to have the mortgage paid off first. And then I reward myself with a little purchase of a vehicle, but only if I can pay cash for it. If I have to go to the bank to borrow the money, I can't get it. That's my current goal in my current position. Because then that kind of forces you to keep things in perspective. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Right? And for me, affording it doesn't mean getting in more debt. So no, I'm not going to go and borrow money to buy a car and then pay all this interest and pay 50 times for the car. So it's about trying to get smarter with our money as we get older. Good morning, Miss Sue. She says we need a retirement community homes built here like they have in Florida. So retirement community homes. So what are we talking about here? Where you buy a home within a retirement community? But the homes are more affordable, like affordable housing for retirement folks? Is that what it is? Jonathan says, when you say it like that, you make it sound so unsexy. Your 3G plan really is not a sexy plan. Nathina says she'll work for me. She says, hire me, Sandy. Oh, it's your G3 plan. Oh, I had it reversed. I said 3G. He says it would have a whole lot more class than the way you said it. Well, you can dress it up all you want, but go-go dancers are go-go dancers. Gambling is gambling. Yes, you can have a high-end casino, but you're still going to have people sitting there with gambling habits, stealing from their employers and family members in order to come to your go-go club. Soka, get me some more tickets, child. I'm here daydreaming this morning. She says, get someone else to claim it for you so you can remain anonymous. I don't mind people knowing that I'm a millionaire because I'm still going to be rolling in the same fashion that I'm rolling now, pretty much. I'm just going to be debt-free with a bit of investment opportunities for my daughter's future. So Soka says her dream car is a Maserati. I'm not really into speed like that. So, and I don't even know if Maseratis, like, I'm sure they do go fast, but yeah, I mean, I don't need a Bentley. I don't need a Maserati. What else is considered like a really fly car? You know, a Benz is good enough for me, but I would definitely get all the bells and whistles on it. Like in terms of all the tech that's available on the inside of the vehicle, it would be tricked out. All right. Happy Renaissance Day, says OCM Productions. It's Renaissance Day? What the heck is Renaissance Day? So yes, my darling, that's kind of the daydreaming that we did today. Now, I'm sitting here looking at Offshore Alert because y'all know that, like I said, you want to get an idea of what happens with housing in the Cayman Islands and how people lose their homes. And this is not today. It's been going on for a really long time. You can certainly just go online and have a look at what shows up in court. Oh, there haven't been any recently that I'm looking at, though. So the banks are always taking people to court, honey child, because they want their money if you borrow money for them. So yeah, I would not get in the business of loaning people money. That is a lot of risk. The banks do it, and that's why they have certain collateral. That's why they have certain collateral that they will want to hold on to, and even then, they still have to end up forcing a sale on your property. So this is interesting. There's a winding up petition, the stuff that you see when you go online, start looking at the cause list and stuff like this, right? So there's a winding up petition between Mr. Adrian Briggs and the Security Center Limited and Safeguard Security Services Limited. Interesting. I didn't know that they were trying to wind up the security center. Okay. So the petitioner, Mr. Adrian Briggs, shows that Safeguard Security Services Limited is an ordinary resident company incorporated in the Cayman Islands, 1994. Okay, the authorized share capital, blah, blah, blah. The principal objects of the company was, okay. The petitioner founded the company in 1994, from which date it carried on the business of providing security, and guarding services as well as related activities within the Cayman Islands, yada, yada, yada. At the date of its corporation, 100 shares, his daughter Catherine Briggs in November 2005, and TSCL, which was and remains under separate ownership, engaged in similar business activities to those carried out by the company. In and around September of 2005, the petitioner and Mrs. Briggs commenced discussions with Mr. Graham Wall with regard to the pooling of the companies and TSCL's traditional guarding business into a single joint venture. Okay. So in 2005, November, they entered into a memorandum of understanding, which signed on behalf of TSCL, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so that's how that company came about. Interesting. So, okay. So what's going on with I didn't know that this was a case, that this was a thing. There's a lot of stuff that goes under the radar, especially in civil proceedings. So basically, they're trying to, well, it's a winding up petition, so they're going to wind up this company. Okay. Oh, this gets juicy. Number 16 says the operation of the company. Although Ms. Briggs was appointed by the petitioner as a director of the company, she was not regularly or continually involved in the running of the company. This was a result of Mr. Bostock. Stuart, is this you they're talking about? Repeatedly making it clear to Ms. Briggs that he considered her opinions and ideas to be of no value. Oh, snaps. And in pursuing a course with intention and the result of avoiding Ms. Briggs being involved in the day-to-day management of the company, business assets and affairs. Mr. Bostock and originally Mr. Wall were the directors, largely to the exclusion of Ms. Briggs, who with executive roles as regards to the company's business operations. In or about May of 2007, the petitioner loaned $234,000 to the company through a company owned and or controlled by him. Jack Cab Hold. What? Why would he be loaning Security Center money? I thought that they had money. They getting all these $1 million contracts from government. At the meeting of the board, oh, I think I need to print this one off and read this a little bit closer. At the meeting of the board, the company held in July 2013 that Mr. Bostock, Mr. Wall, and Ms. Briggs voted that the amount of the loan to the company shall be increased to $400,000 by reducing the dividend payable to the petitioner. What the? You see, this is why when you start to invest money in companies and you think it's a good idea, always some kind of mix-up. That's why I want to be the only director, the only shareholder, and I get in bed with nobody else other than maybe a spouse, because sometimes you don't have a choice. But y'all need to be careful. Oh, honey child, this gets even better. Point number 21. In and about June 2013, Ms. Briggs was informed by Mr. Wall that Ms. Patty Jean Ebanks, yes, who had been an employee of TSCL, had misappropriated nearly $1 million from and belonging to TSCL. Oh, Jesus, what a mess. Hold on now. Let me clear my sinuses on this one. Lord Jehovah. So I'm aware of this theft case, but has this been dealt with yet? Has the court found her guilty? I can't remember now. But yes, this woman, Miss Patty Jean Ebanks. Miss Patty Jean Ebanks. I need to look it up because I don't know if that case is actually done with yet. But she's been accused of stealing nearly $1 million from her employer, which isn't she related to one of the shareholders? Was it oh God, let me not get the names wrong now. So is this Nal Bodden's sister or something? But she's related to one, like I think her brother. Forgive me if it's not Nal Bodden, but it's somebody who else owns security company. So her brother. Oh, let's keep reading what the lawsuit says. Miss Ebanks has been a director of the company between September 2010 and 2013. Mr. Bostock wrongly and without any justification caused the company to pay $140,000 to TSCL in order that the losses suffered by TSCL from the misappropriations made by Ms. Ebanks would be reduced, albeit at the expense of the company. Oh my gosh. In light of the matters referred to above, in an email to Mr. Bostock sent on July the 2nd, 2013, Ms. Briggs raised a number of questions and concerns. Ooh, honey child. This just went from daydreaming to juicy. OMG. All right, y'all hold on one second now. I'm gonna share my screen with y'all because y'all like, what is Sandy reading from? This is what you get access to. An offshore alert. So let me see now. Look here. This gets interesting. Oh my gosh. There's more. All right. So she raised a bunch of questions, including the absence of financial and/or management reports, absence of bank statements for the company, the way in which the cross-charge was broken down, the use of company's funds by TSCL's operations, the merging or pooling of the company's revenues. Wow. In addition, Ms. Briggs wished to discuss the activities of Ms. Ebanks and the reason why it had been considered appropriate by TSCL, which is plainly was not to cause the company to bear some of the loss caused to TSCL. Conduct towards, wow, what a mess. So this is an interesting case. Like I said, I'm going to delve into this a little bit deeper. But you see, this is why you got to be careful at business operations, child. And then it says, furthermore, in or about 2013, Mr. Bostock decided to relocate the company to newly constructed premises at Printer's Way. Yes. Since the said relocation, TSCL has demanded, and Mr. Bostock has caused the company to pay large amounts in rent through an addition to the cross-charge. What? The sums now being paid in rent are significantly larger than the amounts in respect of rent paid by the company at its previous premises and in circumstances where the company does not and did not require larger premise. Oh my goodness. What a thing. Wow. In order to conduct its business operations in pursuit of the blah, 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 at a meeting attended by Mrs. Briggs, Mr. Bostock, and Mr. Rotzi, whoever he is, in and about July, did it again express concerns about the management of the company. Okay. Wow. So it looks like they're trying to, I guess, wind up the security company. Who would have known? It says that they're accusing this company of wrongly appropriated the business and goodwill of the company. Okay. Wow. So now this is an amended petition. So this was submitted before. So apparently it says here that they'd offered to purchase a petitioner's shares in the company for $87,250. The offer did not include any provision for an amount of account of the affairs of the company to be carried out. Okay, so now they've amended it to include some additional information. That it was just and equitable to wind up the company, and as such, the gateway for the company to be wound up in accordance with Section 92C of the company's law was met. So the TSCL, that's the Security Center, is being represented by HSM Chambers. So of course they're all in the mix. So it says that here on June the 20th, 2022, a resolution was signed by both members of the company, resolving to place the company into court-supervised liquidation. Who knew? Wow. So the security center is being liquidated? Voluntary liquidation? Wow. All right. Well, I got to let Renee know that maybe she needs to have a look at this story to put up on CMR. Very, very interesting. My God. What a hot mess. So someone says, yes, she is Nal Bodden's sister, and she did not go to jail. And she did go to jail for it. Oh, she did. Oh, okay. So she's out already? Child, when you steal $1 million. Speaking of the lottery, it seems like for some people, it's easier to just steal money than to actually try to win it or work for it. Probably for $1 million, if she went to jail, I'm willing to bet you she didn't serve more than 5 years. So when you think about the logistics of, you're going to sit in jail. I mean, nobody wants to go to jail, but you're going to sit in jail at the expense of the people that came around and get 3 square meals and blah, blah, blah. And probably because she's related to Nal Bodden, let's also be fair, she'll probably never have to really worry about a job in any event. So she'll probably be okay after she gets out. That's the type of siblings, when you have money, you put them in the back corner of the office to do something else. Not in charge of accounts, hopefully, again. But, you're still going to make sure that they're okay. Wow. Did you have to pay any money back? Well, most people, when they steal money, they can't pay it back because they've spent it in ways that are just crazy. So this person says, yes, it's Nal's sister. Thad Bodden also belongs to Nal, always in court for theft. His other sister recently got an award from NASA. Oh, that's nice. So they sent some links. Oh, she got a 4-year sentence. See what I told you? I knew it wouldn't have been more than 5 years. That's for sure. So it looks like they pared it down. She was originally charged with stealing over $1 million, but they could only find $500,000. At some point they stopped counting as well. I remember that there was some other case, I can't remember which one, that this person stole a bunch of money, and I think that they said it was at one of the banks, and they said that basically when they got to like $1 million, they kind of stopped counting because they just couldn't keep counting anymore. I was like, what? 1 second, call. I'm trying to get you back on the I don't know why it's not picking up on the Bluetooth here. Hold on a second. I'm gonna call you back because the Bluetooth connection has dropped somehow. But yes, really, really strange that banks and organizations can have so much money that sometimes they're like, oh God, we got to stop counting because we really don't know how much the person really stole. And I think to myself, how can you not know? Well, there you have it. Someone says, yeah, she's an all sister. Remember her husband, Roger, stole money from Rex Creighton and also went to jail. Oh, Jesus. Wow. So, sticky fingers runs in the family. Well, I don't know what's going on when my Bluetooth isn't picking up. You know what I always say about people who steal? When they come from certain families, they're going to get a bly that, believe me, you and I are not going to be getting. So don't you go out there with your sticky fingers now, you little Georgetown kid, and think that you're going to have that kind of luck, because what they say about luck for puppet and something else, it just doesn't run the same, right? So you're not going to have, give me 1 second, Danny. I'm just trying to figure out why the Bluetooth is not connecting. It says it's paired, but it's not picking up. So yes, don't you try it, because your luck not going to be the same. Speaking of luck, this person says, I would never make anyone know that I won anything. Danny, I don't know why, if it says I'm connected to Bluetooth, why it isn't actually showing me that on the handset. But anyway, try talking. Let's see if we can hear you. Hello? Nope. Can't hear you. All right, it says that it's paired. Let me try pairing it again. Hold on. So we're going to disconnect, and then we're going to search and pair it again. This is why I actually don't like Bluetooth very much. All right, let's try it again. Okay. Let us see if we can get a hold of Danny wants to call the program. So yes, puss and dog don't have the same luck. It's a Jamaican proverb. That's right. Definitely puss and dog not gonna have the same luck. I do not know why the Bluetooth is not working, Danny. All right, let me just restart this phone real quick. Maybe that'll resolve that issue. Hold on. Yep. Puss and dog are not gonna have the same luck. Just one of those things in life. So someone else says, I love this website for calculating loans. It shows how much you spend over the life of the loan and what goes towards interest versus principal. Oh, this is a good one. Yes, thank you. I'll share that with people as well. Oh, yes. All right, so someone said might be a good time about legalizing gambling in the Cayman Islands. Well, I mean, we've talked about this so many times. I think y'all just need to decide whether you want it or not. I'm not opposed to it necessarily in principle, but you have to, when you say legalize it, I think one of the problems is who's going to be running it. Because if you legalize it, like what they have in the state of Florida, where it's government run, that's a huge expense, a huge department, and that's a whole lot of a situation. And the truth of the matter is, it does not necessarily mean that it's going to be, I just do not know what's going on with the Bluetooth here. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to actually stop. Yeah, but you can hear me, but you're not coming through the board is the problem. So it's not a question of whether or not you can hear me. So I'm going to try it again. Hold on. So yes, the interesting thing about the lottery is legalizing it in Cayman might not have the intended effect that we think that it will. And that's part of the problem. I don't know what's going on with this phone. This has me stopped. Caller, I guess you'll have to speak on speakerphone because it's connected to Bluetooth, but then it's simply not showing up.
You just have to put the speaker close to the mic now.
Yeah, go ahead. Uh-oh. Did you come off a speakerphone as well? What the heck? Yes, caller.
You must have friends in high places.
What's on your mind this morning? Yes.
Is that oftentimes, like, you'll hear people say, I don't get involved in politics, as if somehow it's unimportant, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they will express themselves about, what they think should be done in the country, but they don't get involved in politics. Well, that's a really foolish position to take, because if you want things to be changed in your country, political system is the way that it should be done.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give one example. Some people think that lottery should be allowed, and some believe it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are those who I don't care what the law says, because, you spend a lot of time trying to get things changed, and nothing just ever happens. So I'm not going to participate in that foolishness anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have people who go to law school, that says openly on the air that they asked a friend in another jurisdiction to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, well, it's not illegal to buy a lottery ticket in Florida.
It's not illegal to buy a lottery ticket in Florida if you're in Florida. But the penal code that I just read is the Cayman Islands penal code. And so the two elements are that the mens rea occurred in this jurisdiction, and the actus reus in part occurred in this.
So wait a minute. Back it up. So you're saying that based on your interpretation of the law.
No. Let me read it again so that you don't confuse my interpretation with the statute. The statute says, when an act which, if done wholly within the jurisdiction of the court, which would be the Cayman Islands Penal Code, would be an offense against this law. So if it's an offense described in the penal code, is done partly within and partly beyond the jurisdiction. Every person who within the jurisdiction does or takes any part in such act may be tried and punished under this law in the same manner as if such act had been done wholly under the jurisdiction.
So, okay. So if I fly to Miami, hold on. So you're saying that if I fly to Miami and I purchase a ticket, that's fine. But if I'm here and I ask someone to purchase a ticket for me, that's a problem.
Yes, that's what that says.
All right. Well, looks like I better go to Miami then.
Well, no, the point that I'm actually making is if there is a law in the Cayman Islands that doesn't say things that we want it to say, we should seek to have it changed. That's what my friend Jonathan is doing. He's saying, look, I disagree with this law that says I can't use cannabis the way I want to use cannabis, so I'm advocating to have it changed. Now, you might not agree with that particular thing, but it's the same type of advocacy that would be necessary if you wanted something like this changed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this isn't my opinion. This is the statute.
All right. I never and of course, as you say, ignorance of the law is no is certainly no excuse. But I will have to look at it and get some legal advice on that after I win my $1 billion.
Well, I think that's a good idea because part of what your program is about is education.
Yeah.
One of my friends says, Charlie, that $500 million.
Yeah, but $1 billion is.
No, I know. But that billion is that's not how much you would get, right? That's future value. What you'd be paid out is the net present value basis, which is going to come out to a hell of a lot less than that if you were to take it as an right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you take it as a lump sum, something like $1 billion, it's going to be a hell of a lot less. So, what I'm trying to say is that this political process is how we administrate the country, how we get laws changed, is an important process that people should be involved in. And it's part of the reason why who is in office matters. Mm-hmm. Whether those persons are people who can be trusted, because it's such an important process that if not done properly, people just lose faith in the system and drop it. That's what's happening. Just look at what's happening in America today. Absolute disaster. In my view, we're witnessing the deliberate destruction of America. It seems as if
deliberate by the voters of the country?
By the politicians.
But it's the voters putting the politicians in.
Yeah, but
and listen, they're about to do it again. They're all excited about Trump running again. So he didn't do enough for them the last time around. He's like, let's give him another chance.
The people who are destroying the country, unfortunately, is not Trump. It's the ones who are in power right now. You can't point, but look at past administrations and
you can point to past administrations.
I'm talking about what's happening at this moment.
Yeah, but past administrations impact current policies.
I understand
and
that.
It's not like the second you get out of office, what you did is automatically undone and the damage of what you did disappears. It's like people are like, okay, the U.S. is
change it.
Listen, people are saying right now the U.S. is headed into a recession, and they're blaming that on Biden. I'm like, Biden just got there. This road to the recession has been.
I say this to you all the time. It's self-inflicted. If you vote for me, I'm going to shut down the petroleum industry. Okay, if that's your position, that's what Biden said. Okay? If you take that position, then you cannot expect people, the heads of the petroleum companies, to go to its shareholders and say, we need to spend hundreds of billions of dollars on infrastructure that has to be amortized over long periods of time to get approval to invest that money when the government is trying to get you out of business in less than 13 years, which is 2035. You don't see how that is a problem? I'm telling you that the cost of living that you're experiencing today, a great portion of that is self-inflicted. Now, you can't blame that on Trump. That doesn't mean that I agree with everything that Trump said or did. But on this particular issue that's heavily impacting the cost of living today, this is the current policy of the American government that's causing this. And they can change that if they want.
All right. Well, you change policy today. It takes 5-10 years later for you to see the impact of the change of that policy.
It depends on what policy.
Well,
but if I can assure you that if the president of the United States said today to his political party, look, it's clear that we're not going to be able to meet our goal by 2035. We're going to have to extend it beyond there. And then you go to the petroleum industry and they say, look, you know, leading up to the election, I engaged in a lot of propaganda because I wanted to get elected. And I said something, I went a little bit overboard. Okay. We're not going to shut you down. That will make a tremendous difference. Okay. The war that's happening is only a part of the problem. It's not the entire problem.
So Everton says, I don't know who he's referring to exactly, but he says, you don't even know what you're talking about. Are you living in the United States? I'm not sure if he's speaking to you or to me, but but you don't have to necessarily live in a jurisdiction to know what you're talking about. But anyway, leave us there. We do have our news coming up, and then our next guest is slated to come on at 9 o'clock.
All right. Well, I think he's full of beep. Take care.
All right, folks. I'm aware that hearing Danny properly was a bit of a problem. I need to figure out why it says I'm connected to Bluetooth, but it's still not working like I connected to Bluetooth. So we'll put some IT hands on that situation to see what could potentially be going on there. All right, time for your morning news headlines. Big shout out to Kevin Watler, bringing us the news every single day, weekdays, Monday through Friday. Oh, Everton clarifies his point. He says, the previous administration, they destroy this country. It always happens that whenever Republicans are in power, they always let this country run up a high deficit. It's through the roof. And a rip Democrat always bring back down to pay off the debt. Bro, you're not living here and you don't know what's going on. All right. I think that this concept that a president can be newly elected, same thing here in the Cayman Islands, y'all cussing the PAC government. We want them to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. But the point cannot be lost, folks, that the previous administration was in for 12 years. And so a lot of what you're feeling now, whether it's social ills or whatever, has been brewing for a long time. Problems don't just pop up on a given day, right? So our education system being in the toilet, social services, being run poorly and in the toilet. Even some of our economic woes have been, the price of land has been creeping up for a really long time. This not just happened today. So although you're complaining about it today, because you might now appreciate the impact on your life where you are, that doesn't mean that the current administration are the ones who caused the problem. And all you have to do is go back and look at, for example, all of the millions of dollars in concessions that were given. And y'all keep cussing about that because that has a knock-on effect. None of that has happened since the PAC government has been in place. But the knock-on effect of it continues because those are agreements and things that have to be honored once they're in place. So if the previous administration gave a developer a concession, but they're now only developing the project, this concession has already been granted. So this is why, when people want to complain about government and they're like, well, I don't want to think about what the previous administration did. I said, hold on. That's not fair. Pump the brakes. You better think about what the previous administration did because it was their decisions that are impacting our lives. And so you can't not give them any responsibility for the shit show that we're currently in. That's ridiculous. Right? Not only that, But some of y'all don't want to take responsibility for who you're putting into elected office. And it's like, what? All right. Well, time for the morning news.
Hello, I'm Kevin Watler, and this is your CMR Daily Buzz. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says they are carrying out a full investigation into the tragic death of the 2-year-old child who died in Cayman Brac on Tuesday and are approaching their investigations with an open mind. 5 police investigators, supported by forensic specialists and a pathologist, were sent to Cayman Brac on Wednesday to support the local team with this case. The multi-agency approach is being taken to ensure all avenues are explored, according to the police. The police said no arrests have been made and the name of the child will not be formally released at this time in order to maintain the privacy of the family and individuals involved. Police request that if anyone has any information about this incident that they believe would assist police with their investigations, to please contact the Cayman Brac Police Station on 948-0331 or 926-0635. Cayman's population has seen staggering growth over the past decade. Premier Honorable Wayne Panton pointed out that Cayman's population grew by 29% in the last decade. He said much of the growth over the years is a result of open immigration policies, which have brought many benefits to the country, but also setbacks. According to the report, there were 71,432 residents of the Cayman Islands counted in the 2021 census. This figure includes 327 persons who lived in institutions such as prisons, dorms, retirement homes, and so forth. Except for the sister islands, all districts recorded double-digit growth rates, and Mr. Panton said the country now has to decide on the appropriate growth rate and policies. The Cayman Islands Fire Service welcomes 12 new trainee firefighters. The new group, which consists of 11 men and 1 woman, recently started their 18 weeks of aviation and domestic fire and rescue training. The group hopes to become the next class of certified firefighters. We wish them the very best. The Cayman Islands national chess team will represent the country at the 44th Chess Olympiad, currently being held in India. The Cayman Islands Chess Federation was formed in 2018 when the country officially joined the International Chess Federation. While the team has succeeded in the online Olympiad format in 2020 and 2021, this is their first classical over-the-board international Olympiad tournament. The team comprises of 5 players: Clifford Shaw, Sean Tracy, Christopher Young, Malcolm Powery, and Leah Samanthian, who is the reserve player. The team has been training with their coach, international master Jomo Peterson, who is also the national coach of Jamaica. Police continue to look for 2 men who are wanted for firearm offenses. 25-year-old Charles Leonard Walton III and 27-year-old Luisto Estubio Hernandez are considered armed and dangerous. If seen, call 911 immediately, and police warn not to approach them. Police also continue to look for 2 missing men. 53-year-old Noel Paul Manning has been missing since June 24th, and 26-year-old Adrian Williamson has been missing since July 6th. You are asked to contact your nearest police station if you see either of them. Anonymous tips can be provided directly to the RCIPS via their confidential tip line at 949-7777 or via their website. More information on each of these stories can be found at caymanmallroad.com. Now for your CMR weather update, it's brought to you by WG Charters. Sunrise at 6:01. It's a good day to keep your umbrella or raincoat handy. Scattered thunderstorms are in the forecast. The temperature rises to the mid-80s, but it will feel much hotter than that when the high temperature is 86 degrees Fahrenheit and the relative humidity is at 73% like it's forecast to be. The temperature will feel like it's in the mid to high 90s. The winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour and the sun sets at 7:02. When it cools at nighttime, the temperature falls to the low 80s, and looking forward, similar weather conditions are expected. It's summertime, so those hot days and warm nights with scattered showers are very typical for this time of year. CMR weather updates are brought to you by WG Charters. They offer private boat trips for a great price, so we encourage you to support them. Now for some regional and international news. DART announced the addition of the Four Seasons Resort and Residences Anguilla to its luxury hotel portfolio. DART acquired the property from the Starwood Capital Group. Located on 35 elevated acres spanning the beaches of Meads Bay and Barnes Bay, the resort is known for its sea views at every turn and 181 generously sized and diverse accommodations, from clifftop guest rooms to expansive oceanfront villas. JetBlue Airways reached a deal to buy Spirit Airlines on Thursday, a merger that could reshape the airline industry by putting pressure on America's four dominant carriers. The deal, which values Spirit at $3.8 billion, would create America's fifth largest airline with a share of more than 10% of the market, behind United Airlines, which has a nearly 14% share. Delta and Southwest Airlines control more than 17% each, while American Airlines has more than 18%. The merger is likely to face a thorough investigation from the Biden administration's antitrust regulators, who have taken an aggressive stand against corporate consolidation, especially in industries already dominated by a few businesses. Given that reality, JetBlue's top executive sought to cast the Spirit deal as a way to make his industry more competitive rather than less. U.S. officials said that more than 75,000 Russians have been killed or injured as part of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The figure would represent around half the total number of troops Russia sent to Ukraine at the start of its invasion. It is significantly higher than estimates U.S. officials have given in public. Estimates for Russian troop losses have varied, and Russia itself have given no official figures for months. The total number of Russian troops that have gone to the Ukraine is also unclear. That's it for the Daily Buzz. Please stay safe and God bless.
All right, folks. So yeah, population growth. We'll talk about the census report going into next week, so we can, kind of dig a little bit deeper into some of the aspects of that. But population growth, uncontrolled population growth, is one of the issues that this particular government, by way of the premier, has definitely brought up as a point of concern. And believe me, we see it every single day when we have to drive in traffic. Mm-hmm. All right, Miss Debbie says, happy Friday. Hey, girl. Happy Friday. All right. We do have a guest who is waiting to join us, Mr. Noel Cayasso Smith. Good morning, Noel. How are you?
Good morning, Sandy. Drained, tired, exhausted.
Yes.
But good.
Good. Awesome. So Cayman AIDS Foundation, yes, is a nonprofit organization here in the Cayman Islands that does a number of events over the course of the year. This is probably, I would think now, your biggest event that you.
No, this is actually under Cayman LGBTQ Foundation.
Okay, so this one falls under the LGBT Foundation.
Yeah, it does,
My apologies.
No, that's okay.
Noel wears multiple hats.
Umbrellas.
Yes, so the LGBTQ Foundation, this is your second annual Pride Parade. So tell us a little bit, in case people don't know what a Pride Parade is. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit about what it is.
Well, for us, hosting a Pride Parade here last year was a big achievement. What we're basically trying to achieve is for everyone to understand that, we all live in a small community, we all respect each other, but at the same time, we all have different beliefs. So by hosting a Pride event, it's just showing that, we're a part of the community and we're looking for acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a lot of conflict over the first Pride Parade when we were going to have that. People were under the impression that we were going to come out in chains and whips and nudity and all that sort of stuff, but they were surprised that none of that actually took place. Which that's not what it's about, It's about, just basically looking for equality and looking to be accepted for who we are.
And I guess at some level, it's also just about, celebrating your community, which is a minority community here in the Cayman Islands. But I often say to people, it's not as much of a minority community as people might think, because at least 1 in 10 persons fall in the LGBTQ community. They may not tell you, so it might be none of your business because that's people's personal affairs. But 1 in 10, you do the math. That's a lot of people who might be LGBT or Q, So what can we expect last year? Last year was the first event.
Yes.
Is the route changing, or are there any significant changes to the actual event this year?
Okay, the route is a little bit longer than it was last year, because those that attended last year knew we left from the public beach and ended at Tilly's. This year, we're taking the same route from the public beach, but we're actually ending at the Festival Green at Cayman Bay. So we'll be coming down the Old West Bay Road all the way down to the Marquee, following it on to, I think it's Esther Tibbetts Highway across the street, and then onto the Festival Green at Cayman Bay. So we originally had booked for the parade to start at 5. But after consulting with the police department, they brought up some valuable points that perhaps we should start a bit earlier, because of they roughly calculated it would take 2 hours for us to reach from point A to point B, which would put us on the streets after 6, and for safety reasons. So we agreed, and we backed the time. So the new times are now 3 o'clock lineup, and 4 o'clock the parade will start.
Okay. All right. So, of course, just to remind people, there are some rules that you operate under. So let us know. I know last year was COVID, and there was a restriction in the parade size, and you had it kind of quartered off and whatever. So that's no longer in place for this year?
No, it's not.
That has been lifted.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the COVID stuff has been lifted. Last year we faced things with you had to be vaccinated to join, and you have to have your vaccination card that could be read and all that sort of stuff. But now that everything has been lifted, there's no restriction on that. So people are allowed to bring their kids along this year if they choose to, which we have families that will be participating this year, which is really great. And it's just basically a fun thing. For us, it's all about everybody coming together, and it's not about being gay or having to be gay to join a pride parade. You got your allies, you got your friends that support and that sort of stuff, and that's what we're looking for.
Right. So, roughly 2 hours starting at 3 o'clock, but parade will leave at 4 o'clock. So people, I guess, try to get there on time.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of logistics. Like last time I found that people they walked the parade, and then they couldn't figure out how to get back to their vehicles. So people, you got to have all these things planned and worked out.
We have a bus this year that'll be
shuttling. You do have a bus.
people.
Okay.
Yeah. From Cayman Bay back to 7 Mile Beach. But Cayman Bay has a huge parking facility. So I would encourage people to perhaps park their car at Cayman Bay and then take the shuttle to Public Beach. I just want to say to people, if you're going to know that you're going to drink a lot, then obviously try and carpool or try to get there some other way that you can enjoy yourself and make arrangements to take yourself home at the end of the night.
I see. All right. So there's also a little bit of, I think you can't have any of these events without some degree of controversy. So someone said to me that there's some fee or something that's associated with participation in the parade. Can you explain to us
There's
what
been
happens?
a lot of stuff on that side, and I'll explain that to you.
Yes.
As it's our second Pride Parade, and we are a nonprofit organization. Pride this year costs in the range of $40,000 to $41,000 to put on, from beginning to end. That staging, lighting, you know what these things are like when you're putting them together. So we had a meeting and we discussed it, and everybody's thoughts are under the impression that we're getting thousands of dollars of sponsorship coming in for Pride. They need to bear in mind that this is our second year. The first year Pride was sponsored by 2 ladies, couples that were here, because everybody didn't know what government was going to say or what the community was going to be like. So of course they funded the entire thing. However, this year they did contribute, but they say that other organizations, now that things are going well, should also trip in and help towards Pride. A lot of sponsorship requests and stuff went out, and even organizations that we assumed that we would get a lot of backing from, we got like $2,000 US. or $1,500 US. You know, so a total of income like $13,000 against $40-something thousand. It's not that much. It just doesn't cover what we need to be covered. People also say we should fundraise, but to be honest, we had a run walk, as you know, and $1,500 was raised on that fund and that walk because it wasn't very supported. So therefore, put that against what was outstanding. You know, it didn't really help the matter here. So what we did, we had packages out there. So for $100 package, it would get you to enter the parade, also get onto the green. It gets you a T-shirt. It gets you tickets, food and drinks. It gets you a goodie bag. It gets you a water bottle. You know, it gets you sodas, Gatorades, and stuff while you're in the parade and that sort of thing. So when you add up what you're getting, it's just a difference of $10. But you know, the thing is, you can't please everybody. And even with all that, I'm going to explain something to you. We even brought, because people are saying, what if we just want to join the parade? And I said, okay. So what we did, we have a package on Events Pro where you pay $10 and you get a T-shirt, and that gets you to go to the parade. And of course, if you want to go to the Festival Green, there's a $35 addition that you would have to pay to also go there. So it's not that we are asking the public to pay for no reason whatsoever. It was a dilemma whether we say, okay, we had our first Pride last year, but because of the expenditure and no financial support, we're canceling Pride this year. We didn't want to do that. So that was one of the reasons.
Okay. All right. So you get a bit. Tell us a little bit again about what's included then in the packages.
Okay. We have a package on there for $100. Well, we have a VIP package to begin with, which is $550. It's a highball table, which people, you get a high premium bottle of rum on the table. You get chasers with that. You get 35 tickets to buy food or whatever you choose to spend that on, drinks or food, chasers or whatever. You also get your T-shirt. You get your wristband for the parade. You get your wristband for the green. You get your goodie bag and your water bottles. And you also get like sodas and whatever it is on it. Because, you know, the parade, there's no alcohol and during the parade at all. It's just water, Gatorade, sodas, and Lucozade and that sort of thing. So that's the first prize. Second is a $100 prize, which also gets you pretty much everything except for going into the VIP area, because the VIP area is actually centered at the front of the stage, where you pretty much get front view of every single thing that's going on. Then the other one went with $35 package, which would take you to just the green itself, and you would get a T-shirt.
Okay.
So honestly, I don't think it's really bad, you know, what you're getting for what we were putting out there. And I understand people are saying that Pride should be free, and it has been free everywhere else in the world. But then there was Pride like New York and Atlanta. They've been established for many years, and they have big sponsors like Macy's who put like $2-3 million into that event. We haven't come that far yet. This is only our second Pride. And we all know what things are like here in the Cayman Islands. You know, I mean, it's really great because I did meet people that, you know, said to me, you know, we were offered jobs here by big companies maybe 4 years ago. We didn't want to come here. And, you know, after seeing that, you know, things are beginning to progress and change and people are being accepted, they have now taken those positions here and bought homes and stuff, which you know, is really good. But at the same time, we need to take things in baby steps, because although we were expecting, you know, better sponsorship support, I can't go to you, Sandra, and say, oh, you know, you're a gay ally for years. You know, you only gave me $100, but I want $5,000. You can't force people.
Yeah, I would have to tell you that I'm trying to pay off my mortgage. So I just don't have it.
You know, that's the reason why we brought this payment thing in. So in truth, you're not really, you're getting a lot more for, you know, we're not saying pay $100 and you're getting nothing. And kids are also free this year, and they do get a free T-shirt as long as they're accompanied with a parent.
All right, good. So when they get to the Festival Greens, tell us what you have set up there, because it looks like it's going to be quite a bit of a production.
Yeah. Festival Green, we got the main stage, which is set up. Then you're gonna have the VIP area and the
so what's happening on stage? They're like performers.
On stage we have a international DJ from Miami, DJ Pressure Point, as well as we have a local DJ, DJ Alec, DJ Glenn, and DJ Chuck will be there as well. We have 2 international drag queens that performed all over the place, which is Kiki Co and Detox Bustier. Last night we had a fundraising event at the next door at Kimana Bay where they had a sneak preview at meet and greet the queens and that sort of thing. That was very, very successful. So they will also be on the main stage as well. The premier will be marching with us again this year. The governor is off because his son is getting married. So the deputy governor, Honorable Franz Manderson, will be marching with us, as well as Miss Barbara Conley for the opposition. So obviously we have their tent set up to the other side of that. We've got food trucks, restaurants selling foods. So it's going to be like a lot of different things going on. We're going to have like a dance group and some other stuff. So it's going to be quite entertaining as the night go along.
And how long will the night go on for? Are you going straight up?
Unfortunately, it's Saturday night, just the Cayman Islands. So under the liquor license law and DART,
11:45.
11:45. Everybody have to be off the green by 12.
Okay. Wow. All right, folks.
So the parade should arrive 6, and then it'll pick off from there. But if anybody wants to go to the green from 4 instead of going to the public beach, the green will be open with music and food and drinks and stuff on sale.
Very good. So tell us now, how can people get tickets purchased? Obviously, it's tomorrow.
Yes.
So the event is here. But where are they able to get tickets?
Okay. Events Pro has a listing of the tickets that's on their website. You can go there and purchase the tickets. We decided to use them this year because honestly, it's a lot of work when you're dealing with ticket items and trying to keep track of everything. So we turned that over to them this year. Tonight is actually, and I hope you could get down there or send someone from your team crew, is the pre-party, which is being held at the Debbie, the Old Treasure Island. That's where everybody would have to come to basically get their wristbands, their T-shirts, and all the goodie bags and that sort of stuff. So we'll be there from 7 o'clock until midnight. And the closing time for Events Pro will be 11:45. So once you come there, you can sign up and get all the things that you're required to get on the, what package you've taken, and then get ready for the Saturday.
Very good. All right, folks.
I got your passes here as well.
Yes.
So, for the press passes that allow you guys into the VIP area and the other areas for your filming, for when you're ready to film or whatever.
All right. Yeah, I'm still. I told you I've been sick with this cold, but no, definitely we will be there to get some coverage for the event. So, folks, again, you can purchase your tickets from Event Pros. I'm glad that there's been some clarification about why their tickets this year and how it's going to work and what you're actually getting for the tickets. So it's definitely a much more full event, full of other activities, entertainment, food, beverage, tables, VIP section, and so on. So sounds fantastic. Well, Noel, congratulations to you and your team for putting this on, the second annual LGBTQ plus Pride Parade, which is going to be happening tomorrow. Now, normally Pride Month is June.
Yeah.
And last month I was like, wait a minute, there was no Pride event this year. So tell us why was it pushed back to July?
Okay, let me explain that to you. Pride Month is June, which is great. So what we did, we pushed, because even though June is Pride Month, other countries still have Pride in August and September. So we took July because we had a theory last year. Although our borders were closed, we wanted to put it in July. So if anyone wanted to come in to participate in Pride, they would be able to after finishing up Pride in their own country. We also have a lot of people that have come in that are staying at the various hotels that will be participating in Pride tomorrow. So we have a lot of people coming in from Atlanta, New York, UK, from Canada. So it does work. And if we didn't change it to the month of July, then obviously those people would not come here to help us celebrate.
And someone just said, just an FYI, Jack's Kitchen will be a food vendor at the Pride Parade tomorrow as well. Shameless plug. So how many different, this is good because obviously this is a young Caymanian young man who's doing his thing. How many food vendors will you have available, I guess, amongst other things?
We have 6 food vendors. I'm trying to find it here for you. Just give me 1 second. You caught me there. I know there's Murphy's Kitchen was one. Oh God, where did I put that? We have Island Taste, which is also going to be there. Just because I want that now, I'm not going to find it. Oh, God. It has been... Sorry. Yeah, so it's Island Taste, Murphy's Kitchen, food.
That's some good local food.
It is local food. Local food. We have vegetarian dishes. We got local foods. I can't put my hand on it right now. But there's a lot across the board, including some stuff for vegetarians as well. And to the young man or whoever put that comment out there, I don't really see what a restaurant supplying a service that they do to anybody on the island makes it any difference where they serve. I mean, the last event on Saturday, a lot of these vendors was there and nothing was said, but because it's an LGBTQ event, it's an issue for that restaurant. That is just, discriminating is the way I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, people need to really try to move past that, and that's also part of the reason, for the Pride Parade is so that people, and in fact, I found that last time, a lot of the people who were in the parade were allies more so than people who were even part of the community. You probably had more allies there than anything else. And
a lot of locals came out to the after party, but didn't march in the parade, which we would love to see change at some point, because you should be able to stay in your country, live your life as who you are, and be proud of who you are, and be a great asset to the community. Because when I look at someone, I don't look at them as being gay. I look at them as a person.
Exactly. For sure.
So I just want everybody to come out. Our motto is basically, we accept every single one. We don't care what color you are or what sexuality you choose. That's your business. As long as we respect each other, let's have a good day. It's just like, come and join us and join the march and go to the festival, enjoy the festivities that we got going on there, and let's just make it a big, beautiful day.
Beautiful. All right, folks, go out tomorrow and enjoy the parade. Get your tickets from Events Pro. Noelle, thank you very much. I'm sure that you still have a lot of things going on that you got to get done.
So after this, I'm on the road for the rest of the day. But if you need me to just leave these at the desk at the Events Pro booth for whoever you send on Saturday, they can collect.
Yeah, I'll message you and see how we're going to reach it. Yes.
Yeah. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on today.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. All right. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, folks. It always takes a lot to organize any event of any kind. Trust me. So I always take my hats off to event organizers, and you're wearing multiple hats and working extremely hard. So good luck to them for the parade tomorrow and the after party that will be happening. Okay. Everton, who's Jim? I don't know who Jim is. So I'm not sure. So poor Jonathan says they can have a parade marketing confusion to children. How are children confused by this? I mean, I don't think children are confused or not. You either are or you're not. And, some children will have a sense that they are very, very young. It's so funny because you can look at children and they have no concept yet of sexuality. And you allow them to grow up in this world where we force what we think are norms on them, gender-based norms, right? So we tell them you got to be a cowboy. If you're a little boy, you have to wear blue. You have to do this. You have to do that. And the irony of it is sometimes you can tell from the youngest child that they're going to be different in terms of that, right? And no matter how much people force them to be something that they're not, they end up being what they are. I mean, I don't know how else to word it, but it really just is what it is. And so it's interesting that you should say that by that community having a parade, that they're somehow pushing that or forcing that on children. when what I see being forced on children isn't that at all. We live in a community where we force our other parades on children, which include a lot of gyrating and sexual behavior in public and so on. And we teach them that that's okay and that that's the norm. And so, you know, there's a lot of things that are being put on children, even in this small community, that we should re-examine. But I don't think that this is one of them. Like, I've never seen anybody trying to indoctrinate a child into that lifestyle. So, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion on this topic, but I think you guys know very, very squarely where I stand on this. I don't believe in discrimination. I think people have a right to be who they are. And a lot of it just centers around ignorance. And if you sat back and thought about, well, 1 in 10, so let me start looking at my cousins and all my family members that are, but unfortunately, you know, they're having to hide that from you. They can't be free with you because they know of the way that you think and that you're going to try to like marginalize them and whatever. It's just really, really sad. And young people are more likely to suffer from mental health issues and commit suicide and other things because they don't feel like they can be accepted for being who they are. We've had a lot of young people leave the Cayman Islands, leave this jurisdiction and live and build a life overseas, and they're perfectly happy there because, you know, they can be more accepting and they're not around people who are as closed-minded when it comes to this particular issue. So Debbie says, might drop Sandy. Dominique has a different opinion. He says, oh, it's disgusting. And Debbie says, Jonathan smoking again. It is what it is, folks. All right, 9:33 a.m. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and wrap up with a few bits and pieces.
Crichton Properties is one of Cayman's most trusted real estate companies for over 50 years. We offer a diverse selection of property listings and help our clients navigate the world of buying or selling their properties with confidence. Crichton is a name you can trust with our excellent customer service and family-friendly touch. Contact us today to list your home, land, or condo for sale by calling 949-5250 or email info@crichtonproperties.com. Crichton Properties, a trusted Cereba member.
Healthy Life app is now My HSA Cayman. Securely access your health information and COVID-19 vaccine QR code anytime, anywhere. You can get the My HSA Cayman app by following the easy steps. Step 1. Search My HSA Cayman in your app store. If you already have Healthy Life, open the app and you will be prompted to download the My HSA Cayman app. Step 2. Download the My HSA Cayman app. Once download is complete, search for Cayman Islands Health Services Authority. Step 3. Login. Enter your username and password. This is the same username and password used on the Healthy Life app or desktop portal account. Having trouble with your login? Reset your password. Click Forgot Password on the login page and follow the prompts. If you're still having difficulties, email portalinfo@hsa.ky or visit the portal FAQ page at www.hsa.ky. Sign up for My HSA Patient Portal online or on site at any of our registration counters. Healthy Life app is now My HSA Cayman.
Are you tired of overpaying for TV services, can't figure out VPNs, and constantly missing your favorite TV shows? No access to the good stuff on streaming services? The frustration is real, but it doesn't have to be. Contact Roku, Cayman's streaming pros. We put you back in the driver's seat right in front of your TV. Call 926-1213 or message WhatsApp TV. Roku is not a TV service provider. Terms and conditions may apply.
All right, folks, welcome back. So let's talk a little bit about this situation, right? Yesterday, I kind of mentioned it on the news segment of 106, but we didn't have enough time to get into it. So this guy, he's a Jamaican gangster, they say, the JDF, by the name of Rudolph Shaw, also known as Boxer or Boxa. And he was exported extradited back to Jamaica on Wednesday morning on a flight. So apparently, I don't know if you guys saw this story in CMR, but his attorneys were actually saying that he was a Haitian national, that he actually has a Haitian birth certificate. And so he should not have been sent back. They said there was no extradition request for him from the Jamaican government. And extradition requests take time because they've got to file stuff and then it goes through like a court process and whatever. So our CBC have basically said, listen, they follow the letter of the law. They have the power under Section 103, subsection 3 of the Customs and Border Control Act to basically deport anyone who enters the country by unlawful means for not more than 14 days. So there's a catchment there of like a window where once they discovered it, then you're gone. Now we believe, based on what sources have said, that he was in the country for about 3 weeks before he was actually captured, before they, I guess, I don't know at what point they knew or the Jamaican authorities told them about it, but definitely by the time of his capture, right? So about 3 weeks. And so his attorneys were claiming, I guess, that because that he was saying, or that they saw a Jamaican, Haitian birth certificate, that he was Haitian and not Jamaican. It's kind of interesting because, my sources said, Sandy, we don't have any doubts that the man is Jamaican. We had access to Jamaican passport and a Jamaican birth certificate. So I thought about this and I'm like, did he have access to more than one birth certificate? I mean, it's not unheard of, right? But what is more interesting about this is, and I thought this information needs to be in the public domain, is that you have public funds. This is legal aid because this man not come here with no money to be paying for his lawyers, right? So you have a situation where the legal aid system has to pay for his lawyers, and the lawyers are making arguments that would keep him in this jurisdiction. And potentially, if Customs did not, if CBC did not act as quickly as they can, potentially keep him here and have him walking around on the streets. I get that everybody deserves, innocent until proven guilty, have good legal representation, all this sort of stuff. But I got to tell you, it kind of rubs me a certain way when we have people coming in who then have access to really good lawyers that can make all sorts of fancy arguments on their behalf to allow them to remain and to stay in the Cayman Islands way longer than they should be. And believe me when I tell you that we don't have the resources to keep certain criminals here. That's why even our own, we end up shipping them off to the UK as well, once they fall into a certain category or caliber of criminal. Because we're admitting that our system really isn't that great. And we're not able to prevent them from being incarcerated and still not carrying out certain criminal activity from behind bars. What a hot mess. And of course, it is rumored that several more members of his gang remain here in the Cayman Islands. And I think that we need to get an idea of, who these individuals are. They need to liaise with the JDF and try to get us some photos that can be in wide circulation. So if you see certain people, this is what it is. Someone said to me some weeks ago that in the district of East End, and I don't live in East End, so I can't speak to this personally, but this was an East Ender with connections. There's a lot of local people in East End who are harboring these fugitives when they come in on the drug boats. And they get kickbacks out of it, like they might get access to like a weapon, a firearm, or whatever. And of course, they're part of the criminal elements, but they are residents and they're Caymanians of our beautiful East End district. And so, yes, they are participating in this level of criminality, not perhaps fully understanding the added dangers or maybe just don't care about the added dangers of what we are allowing to be loose on our streets. And I thought, wow, it's really sad that Caymanians are part of the problem, which is often the case, and helping with the destruction of our own country. What a sad day. We don't have enough of our own criminals. We're happy to import people in as well. So I tell you, I don't know what to say. Everton says send them back to wherever they came from. Don't let them come to your country and destroy your beautiful country. They're a bunch of losers. Well, this it's not even just a bunch of losers here, folks. We're talking about someone who's wanted in at least 3 shootings that they know about, one dating back to 2019, the murder of a man who they say was gang related. And then there was one in September of 2021 and one of May 2022, which was just the other day. So they suspect that that's why he absconded. So the last one was in May of 2022. And also wanted to be questioned in connection with the murder of a mother of a police officer in Old Harbor, St. Catherine. So yeah, I kind of, sometimes I do sit back and I reflect on the legal fraternity in this country, especially defense attorneys. I wonder how they think about certain things. Surely they know.
My HSA.
My apologies. Surely they know that a good number of their clients are guilty as charged. As Caymanians would say, guilty as sin. But they give them the best defense, and sometimes they are actually getting off as well. So pretty crazy. Well, thank God that one's gone, and he's now back in the hands of his own authorities, and they can deal with him as they please. Yes. So there was a bad accident last night. I haven't heard what the latest was in relation to this, but there was a bad accident last night in close to Moringa Town on Boilers Road. So I don't know what injuries were reported, but the police and ambulance and I think even fire rescue were on hand in relation to that. So just a little FYI. So just a few announcements as we get closer to wrapping up. Little Cayman Clinic, this is the HSA, is going to be closed. They have an island-wide outage. Oh, really? So the Little Cayman Clinic is currently closed for regular appointments due to an island-wide power outage in Little Cayman. So patients' appointments are going to be affected and they will have to be rescheduled. So only emergency medical treatment is available until power is restored. And you can contact the clinic at 916-5395 to reschedule your appointment. So if you know someone, Little Cayman, who might have had an appointment at the HSA clinic, give them a little dingle and let them know. I guess they know the power's out. Is it island-wide? Sounds like it could be. Oh, yes, it did say island-wide power outage. Oh, honey child. So Little Cayman has no power. I bet you it's because of that storm last night. We had a little bit of crackling of rain and stuff. So, what a mess. Poor them. So, yes, I'm kind of curious as when the DART acquisition is finalized for the Cayman Brac Power and Light, which impacts Little Cayman, if they will have more reliable service. I mean, I'm sure that they will. I shouldn't say if. I'm sure that they will. So yes. So this person says, thank you for highlighting Cayman's achievements. My daughter met you at the media camp last summer and loved your session. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you. They didn't have that this year. I wonder what happened to the media camp. This was actually put on by the DART organization. And I need to ask them what happened this year. Because, yeah, it was actually really, really good. I enjoyed it. I participated. So our young people are very, very interested in these types of things. Let's see if I can what happened to it this year. There was actually, I was on LinkedIn the other day and I saw that Maples and Calder in the UK had it was some sort of a business camp or something that they were doing for some of the students there. And as I was looking at it, I said, hey, why are you not doing that in the Cayman Islands? I was like, what? And they were like, oh, do you think the students there would be interested in something like that? And I thought, what? Of course they would be. Let me see if I can find it on LinkedIn. And it looked like it was a really good program, actually. So the Maples group, they have sort of locations all over the place. And they had, I think it was Maples, or was it Walker's? Oh gosh, I could be confusing the two. Maybe it was it Walker's? No, I think it was Maples. I'm pretty sure it was Maples. And so, yes, they had this sort of program that they put on during the summer for some of the younger folks. And I thought this is a wonderful opportunity for our young people to be involved in a bit more. I'll try to find the actual posting and see. And they're like, oh, yes, do you think they'd be interested? I'm like, yeah, of course they would be. It was I'll find it here in a second. So Maples has the Asian office, Hong Kong. It was like some kind of leadership program for young folks. I do see that they're hiring, by the way. So if you are looking for employment, speaking of which, CUC is also hiring. So anyone who is interested, let me put some information out there. CUC is looking for a warehouse coordinator. I'm going to post this up on the website. But basically, this person falls under materials management, and they are responsible for fulfilling the day-to-day operations of the warehouse and facilities. So, yeah, accurate recording of inventory, shipments, and other business transactions. Requirements: high school diploma. Experience with public sector software is an asset. 1 to 3 years of practical warehouse experience, preferably an electrical utility environment. Well, we know that's not likely to happen because otherwise that means you're already at CUC. They're the only ones that are electric utility environment. Familiar working with computers and standard IT equipment. Good working knowledge of MS Office, Outlook, and Smart Sheets. Salary is between $3,200 and $4,100 plus a couple dollars per month. So that's not too shabby. Get on it. Get on it if you're interested. All right. Let me see some of your comments that are coming in. All right, you can check him out. So he's going to have some good food tomorrow. Oh, Lord, have mercy. All right, so more rumors coming in about the situation on the BRAC. And you never know at what time the rumors have been updated, but they seem to basically be around the same thing all the time. So, yes. All right, so let me tell you about this job at Maples. Where did I just see this? I saw something. They were looking for, oh, yes, they're hiring compliance. It says here, a junior compliance professional program. Oh, they have a program. Wow. Okay, compliance assistant, junior compliance assistant. And they also have the junior IT professionals program. And they're looking for a junior business analyst and a junior quality engineer. So if you are interested in any of those areas and you might have the correct qualifications, please go on their website, fill out the application. We're going to post it on the CMR page as well, so that as many qualified Caymanians as possible can hear about these job opportunities, because that's really important. I mean, if you don't know about something, you're obviously not inclined to apply for it. So that's really good. So a lot of these organizations offer both, legal and non-legal scholarships as well. So it's you can work in a law firm and not be a lawyer because they need support staff and IT accounts and so on. So if you have interest in any of those areas, it still could be a good environment for you. Very, very good. Let me just see what else is going on here. Let me see. Everton, you got anything else? Let me just see in terms of local news. Nothing really breaking at the moment. We're just gonna hold the fort down. So the CCMI is leading a deep sea mount exploration of 12 Mile Bank and Pickle Bank. They do quite a bit of research. So they said that they've been the recipients of £490,000 from the UK. It's a grant from the UK's Darwin Plus initiative, which has been matched by a private donor to support an innovative 5-year collaborative seamount exploration project. I wonder who that private donor is. I bet you that's probably Dart again. They do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that no one ever knows anything about. And they do a lot of matching with funds like to R3 and stuff as well. I got some notes I'm going to tell you guys about next week, and some of the funds that they're matching like $500,000 towards like national security, crime prevention, and so forth. Dart's taking money out of his little kitty and giving back to the people of the Cayman Islands. So y'all would be surprised. I know a lot of y'all like to hate on the man, but you'd be surprised how much he is actually giving back to the community. So this is an interesting grant. We've heard about it before, and the project basically continues. So it says that offshore seamounts like these banks are closely related to islands and often provide critical midway locations for species to connect populations in more distant areas. So they are going to study the 12 Mile Bank and the Pickle Bank area. So very interesting. They're just saying that they don't have a good baseline bit of information or knowledge about what species are present at these seamounts and in what numbers, as well as what the populations there, like how they relate to populations in Grand Cayman, the Sister Islands, and other locations in the region. So this is a collaboration between the Department of Environment, the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation, and the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute, which all lend resources and expertise for the project, as well as the CCMI staff. So congratulations to them. I think this is good because we make a lot of assumptions about our ocean life, and we don't necessarily have correct information that we are operating with. So the more we know, the better decisions and so forth we can actually make. Beautiful. And by the way, if you missed the press conference for the census yesterday, it was at 2 p.m. I know we mentioned it. You can go back and watch it. We do have it. We do have it online. One of the comments on that press conference, Ms. Moya said that the percentage of unreported crime shows the growing level of lack of confidence the community has in the RCIPS. So, the census asked a lot of questions. I, for one, I'm waiting on them to release the report, which I think still hasn't been done yet. It was kind of weird. It was like, why are you having a press conference, but the report isn't available? Like, we're trying to write stories and cover it, but we kind of need the report to maybe look at. So we'll spend some days in the near future going through the report to see what of interest sticks out. One of the things that I'm definitely interested in is the whole conversation that we've been having in absence of any numbers about the minimum wage. Like, I want to know, and I've been saying this for quite some time, how many people are making minimum wage and how many households, Caymanian in particular, does that actually impact? Is it mostly like foreign nationals that are making minimum wage, or who is it? Because when we then make policy decisions like, okay, we're going to increase the minimum wage or we're going to push for that initiative, who will it actually be benefiting? Because if it's not benefiting Caymanian households, those of you who are moaning and groaning about the cost of living still won't be benefited from that. And in fact, what you might find is an unintended consequence is you will actually be hurt by the minimum wage increase instead of benefiting from it. I know y'all don't want to admit that, but there is a trickle-down effect in more ways than one. But you got to have, this is where you need the figures, right? So, when the census was ongoing, we were big supporters of the census, telling people to participate. It was like maybe 15, 20 minutes out of your day. And it was just really, really important. Not only was it mandatory by law, but I think that it provides us with a lot of useful information that we all need to have so that we can plan. Now that we see the population growth, certain trends, we need to start planning for road infrastructures, housing, and so on, to really try to keep up with this astronomical growth that we are experiencing in terms of our population. And I've never seen a country, believe me, people are saying, well, we don't want to grow. Somebody needs to tell you. And I don't know if it's a politician or who's going to tell you the truth, but show me a country that has not ever grown in population, that has had like a retraction of growth. That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, I don't think it happens. And if you have a retraction of growth, you also have to recognize that that means investors, both inward investment and people outside the jurisdiction, are going to see you as a less desirable jurisdiction. And that's also reality. Y'all are talking about right now, the cruise people, they need more money. The tour guides are not making money. You can't make money if you don't have that growth. So managed growth is a good thing. Unmanaged growth is a problem. Folks, that's it for us. Have a beautiful day. We'll catch you guys on Monday morning. Please be safe on the roadways.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.